The first thing I wanted to point out is that there's a module called Coder, which allows us to check our code for standards compliance, and this can be a godsend. If you run your code through it, it will show you line by line where your code doesn't comply with the standards. So let's go ahead and run this page through it first and take a look at what comes out of that report. And then we'll go through the list, and you'll see as we go through those different points that don't correspond to the standards compliance that displayed in our Coder report. So our first step is going to be to install the Coder module. You can download it at drupal.org/project/coder. The next step is to go to the module management page, the admin/modules page. So I've already installed the Coder module, so we're just going to skip to this step. And then we're going to move on by clicking the code review link next to the module. And then we're going to make sure that we're checking most details in our code by clicking the minor, and then in parentheses it says most selection, so that we're showing all of the even minor points where our code differs from the standards. So I'm going to jump to our module page. And here we see there's a link here for code review right here, and I'm going to go ahead and click that. Now we see here that there's a few lines that are showing here where standards aren't compliant. So this says control statements should have one space between the control keyword and the opening parentheses. So we see here it says if, and then there's a parenthesis, but there really should be a space there. If we want to show a more detailed report, we can click the selection form dropdown here and select minor. So our current report shows only 4 places where our code doesn't conform to the standards, but there's actually more. They're just not quite as important to keep in mind. Go ahead and click submit. And now you'll see that our list is a whole lot longer. The 4 that we're displaying initially are in yellow, meaning that they're a little bit more serious, whereas the ones in white generally aren't. Let's go ahead and jump back to our code. Now we've seen the Coder module in action, and in general, it's a good practice to run the Coder module on your code on a regular basis. So don't wait until you've finished, because at that point it can be very time consuming to go back and change all of the places where code doesn't conform.